All right. Aloha world. Aloha ohana. Jonah Martin Lyon coming here live on this Playa podcast. Brother Bear right here. We're back at it again. And we're here, Hope for Maui. Humans on planet Earth, housing our people everywhere, yeah? So, as you all know, Hope for Maui is a live broadcast feed where we're bringing in the truth, the news, as we see it from ground level, being on these front lines, being connected. Even though we're here on Playa, we're in communications and connection with Maui all the time, and similar things that are happening and have been happening on Maui, but what's very present there, been going on for a long time. And so today, in this podcast, in this broadcast right now, we really want to dive deep into the indigenous, I would call it her story. What's been happening on Mama Gaia, and honoring this divine feminine right now, honoring our mother, and really in the space of as warriors of the rainbow, how we're in here, in the protection of the waters, the purification of our air, the regeneration of our land, and the perpetuation of our culture. And so this is many beautiful things happening as we're coming together, humanity, and unifying right now. And this is an example of it happening all the time. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for being here now. Thank you for your support. Again, donations and contributions go to Hope for Maui, come in all different ways, shapes, and sizes. The most priceless thing is life, and valuing that. I'm bringing Brother Bear on in a sec here, and let him just drop us in, and we'll introduce our guest, our special guest today. All right, peace. What's to say, bro?
Nothing. I'm too tired. My name is Bear Dreamer Kochamp, and I'm an enrolled member of the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe. I'm Washoe, Miwok, Paiute, Ute, a quarter Mexican, and a dash of Irish. So I'm here with my. I'm a former ambassador for Digital Smoke Signals. That was owned by the late Myron Dewey, and I'm here with his family, his son, his cousin, and his brother. And I'm on my 10th day out here prepping for Burning Man, and on our 3rd day of the burn. And then so I think what we're kind of we're touching on when they first came in last night was Josh was talking about he wanted to establish a trust, reestablish our trust responsibility with the federal government. We have a unique trust, government-to-government relationship with the federal government, and we don't have to talk through the state or any other government agency to do that. And also talk about the American Indian Religious Freedoms Act, and how water is life and it's the most precious commodity in the world, and is medicine to the indigenous peoples and everyone around the world.
You introduce us? Yeah, let's up on that. So I want to introduce you to our guests today. They're coming in. As you said, we got prayer writer and water and land protector, Josh Dini Numu. This is the people, teacher of the people. And Pesa Mugui?
Pija
Mugui.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessings. All right. Pija Mugui. Good spirit. Yeah, it's good to have that good spirit in the house, for sure. Blessings. Yeah. And then Atzia, Esha? Atza. Isha. Walker River. Numu. Yeah, so you go back around. So these 3 brethren are here to share. As I hand this off, I would want to bring one last piece of awareness to what's to the people on Maui, speaking about the people. We're, in checking in, we're in it right now on the fire. We're starting to have that stress come in around the timing of being able to stay in the hotels. I've been having a lot of grieving over the last couple of days, really thinking about and having discussions about people jumping into the ocean to save themselves from the fire, watching their relatives burning in flames, the amount of children and elders we've lost in this, and just to bring in that kind of that space, because in my opinion, there's this there's some things we need to check into. Genocide has been a real thing in our lifetime, and it's come in many forms and shapes. So we need to be aware, and we need to now use our digital smoke signals. Yeah, to give thanks.
Relative. I'm the younger brother to late Myron Dewey, and my movement started back in 2016 during the Standing Rock time, and unknowingly, honestly, our movement started when I was a kid. Just being raised in that environment of the reservation, and being colonized and assimilated to learn the European ways. And so I'm 43 now, and within the past 2 years, I started to learn, the meaning of life of our people, our traditional ways, our culture. And so I say Great Spirit started to fill me with my heart, my spirit, and guiding me to be a stronger advocate for the land and for the plants, for the animals, for our children, our elders, for our people. And I've been on this journey to be able to speak and advocate, around the world to educate what's happening here in Nevada. And we're fighting a war now against Lithium Corporation. They want to. They talk about green energy, and they want to, sustainable energy for our future. But while they're saying that to the world, us, the people here, are feeling the hurt and the pain of not being able to go up and pray, on the land where our ancestors prayed, harvest or hunt. Some of these lands are lands where the ancestors are, their blood is spilt there, massacred from the time when they were putting us on reservations, And so we're campaigning to get support from around the world and Maui. And I feel the same way for us. We stand with Maui to support the hurt and what Maui just went through. And I think we stand strong together. When we come together. No more division. We need to bring that unity back. And I just thank everybody for giving me the space and time to be able to share, um, what we're doing here in Nevada, and, brother here, Bear said, we're Walker River Paiutes, but the way I see it, I've been saying is we're the original people of the Great Basin. These were unceded territories, and the settlers, the government, they wanted a division, separation, so that they could come in and destroy the land to take, you know, um, the minerals that's out there. And what's the solution? What is the solution? So if we could all put our heads together, we could come up with a solution and win the battles, win these fights. And I pray for all of you out there that are struggling and rebuilding. And uh, I'll be out there September 19th and be able to stand with your relatives and pray together. And I love you all. Thank you. Ooh.
Uh, Ha'a, Nuna Nia Pijamagui, Nil Gaitakara. Hello, relatives. My name is Joseph Dewey. I'm the eldest son of H.O.P.E, strong thinker was his Paiute name, Myron Dewey. Um, my ultimate goal and with our support here, with our relatives here all around the world, is to be on the same page. And I don't have filters, so I'm just going to kind of give it to you as it is. I think that this war, battle, whatever you want to call it, at the very end of the day, it's a spiritual war. And I think that, we're here and allies for allies with you guys, and we understand your pain because once again, our people are going through the same thing and have been on the front line with this military for 62 years. And for someone like my dad, in my opinion, to be impenetrable, he was took, and I think that continuing his vision and honoring him is to being able to speak here with you guys and to remind you that we're survivors. We're still here. A guy at the gutter, or we shouldn't even be knowing that. We shouldn't even be speaking that. And the fact that we're here, being able to make beautiful connections with our brothers here, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm blessed and honored to be able to share this with you guys. And I'm sending much love and a lot of prayers for you guys. And you guys are not in this alone. We're here with you guys, and we're praying for you guys. So, Pijat you, thank you, and we'll keep you guys in prayer and updated as well with our Paiute people, and hopefully to pray with you guys very soon. Pijat you, thank you guys.
Pijat Tabino, mi atsa isha ho for minania, new Gadikada, new Waka River Tipu. Good day, everybody. My name is Atsa Isha, and I'd just like to thank my brothers here for allowing us this space to send support and prayers to you guys across the way. And just one of the things I wanted to address with you guys is the importance of citizen journalism. And from what I've experienced back in the past during the Standing Rock era of the No DAPL movement in 2016 in North Dakota, we saw a lot of the major news outlets not really paying attention to the people on the ground, which is the indigenous people. And so me and a lot of cohorts of people out there were taking that responsibility to make sure the message was being sent correctly in a positive manner while we were out there on these camps. We saw news outlets kind of just not pay attention to us to a certain degree, maybe mentioning us, on some kind of a little slideshow or something, and then not really showing the hurt and the devastation of what was going on there during that time. So a lot of us took that responsibility to be the forefront and the front lines of being the media. So that's kind of what I see with what's going on there in Maui, is that citizen journalism is very important for you guys out there on the island, because from my perspective, I only see what's going on through the major news outlets. But I know for a fact that the people, the indigenous people of Maui, you guys have the ultimate truth. And then that needs to be shared to the most extent, because that's where you can get the news outlets to have to tell your story instead of kind of saying it from the outside looking in. They need to have you guys be there and let them know what's going on to the day-to-day basis, to what's going on with the local communities, the tribal communities there. So, I think that citizen journalism is very important. That nowadays, social media is like the major outlet for anybody to get their word out, just for any common man. Like I said, I'm just a father of two from this indigenous land here of Nevada, but we've gained a lot of notoriety and a lot of attention while we're there at Standing Rock, and I'm just a school teacher at the end of the day. We're revitalizing our native culture. So I do thank my brothers here for allowing me to just give you guys that little bit of that word to you guys that are there, that I would rather want to find live feeds and on the ground people showing us what's going on there rather than hearing it from CNN every day and hearing it from the outside perspective. I'd rather see you guys taking on that responsibility of being the media and being there and doing what needs to be right and needs to be told the correct way. Because, like we said, we've seen a lot of things where, they're ready to come and take over, but that's not what we want them to do, So it's important that you guys um, keep getting the news out any way you can, making videos, TikToks, Instagram, whatever it is that you are capable of doing. Make sure you guys get that word out as far as you can. And like you said, our brothers here and my brothers, we'll put that message out here from in Nevada, and then it just spreads like wildfire when the indigenous communities take on that role of showing the news outlets of what's really going on. So again, thank you guys for allowing me this space to just kind of talk to you guys about what's going on and the work that we're doing here in Nevada, because like I said, the indigenous communities all around are always having fights, to what's going on in Maui, to the lithium fight here, but even our cultural revitalization within a lot of our native communities that need to be at the forefront as well. We need the funding, we need the ability to go into these schools and to revitalize our culture in that way, to give us that time and space with our children, rather than having to learn about the colonized education that we've always had be brought on us, but give them that perspective as well, so that way when they get to that age, that adult age, they can make those responsibilities of carrying on, that message and carrying on our ways of life. So Pijama people, we'll pray for you guys every day over there. Pray for the people that took that journey across the Milky Way. We'll pray for their spirits as well. And I do thank you guys. Hello, Pijama.
So we touched on language preservation. Well, it's good for me being from California, as I grew up off reservation. So the way I met Myron was at Haskell Indian Nations University back in 2008, and that inspired me to continue with language preservation. So a few things that we discussed back at Haskell was in our contemporary issues in American Indian Studies with Dr. Farr. We talked about language preservation, and so being at Haskell, it kind of gave me a crash course back into reconnecting with my ancestors, as far as my name being Jackson Bear Dreamer Co-Champ. I named my son Bear Dreamer in the Numa language, which is Padawa Nosita. And then I lengthened his last name from Co-Champ to Co-Champ Anaskin, which means burning ashes, sparkling ashes, or ashes blowing in the wind, because there's no direct translation. So I consider that kind of what we're looking for as a cultural renaissance. And then I think all five of us, I think we have the consensus that we're in an intellectual and spiritual war right now, and language preservation is on the forefront. Last night we had some conversations walking on the playa for their first time, and we were talking the quickest way to kill a culture through genocide is sending little kids to boarding school and forbidding them to speak their language, and beating them, killing them, or molesting them from doing that kills your whole history right there. Then so now we're kind of starting our history from, our histories in the contemporary is that we started in 1492 when Columbus sailed over here, but now we're going backward, going further into using our traditional medicines that have been here for thousands of years before the United States was even a concept. And that's all I have to say.
Well, on that, the language and the culture, let's say something that in Hawaiian language, the state saying, if you will, this comes before it was ever a state unlawfully occupied, is Ua mau ke ea oka aina I ka pono. The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. And it's a similar life when you come in, I had the water protector, mini watoni, right? Like that in Hawaiian, oli kabai. Like every culture has a way of saying, yeah, the water is life. At a roots indigenous level, our words are more about feelings and experience, and sometimes the language in Babylon, yeah, too much babble, and that tower is falling. It's about being present with each other, because it's more that, like, we speak in all the many different ways of communicating than just what comes out, culturally. Hawaiians, yeah, it's called a honi. Okay, I want to see you hold this, bro. Bear, you do a honi with me? Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Yeah? Basically, near me, okay, head to head like this, and then forehead to forehead. Deep breath in, out through the nose. And it's like it's basically a kiss to all our relatives. Yeah, it's like don't shake hands there. It's a kiss, and we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, because the nose can tell no lies, right? And so you think about what's taking place, right? The handshake, the lies told about agreements, treaties, all of these things that are taking place, and it's like, nah, that communication isn't always necessarily speaking the truth. These see it, yeah, this knows it, these hear it. It's just like this truth, this news, right, that we got to stay on. And citizen media, sovereign media, yeah, it's not bringing anything, any agenda, any propaganda, but just rather, this is what's happening right now, and this is live, right? This is happening right now. This is not, there's nothing planned here. We're making it up as we go along. And, Brother Josh was talking about this campaigning, like all the campaigning. What is the campaigning around? What is our intention? What is the purpose of each of these campaigns? So being really clear, and we'll be adding more links. He just shared a link with me also of how we can support their campaign. I remember running for mayor of Maui and thinking about the campaign aspect of that on a political level, so I could understand the social political environment of where I was living and calling home, And the name that came through was Campaign Aloha, and that aloha was what I learned about the culture more deeply as well. That it's deeper than the hello and goodbye. In most of our language, there's so much more underlying the just word, right? It's like you can't naming our children, right? Or these words, it's not translatable to necessarily a different dialect, especially the English dialect. Super hard to translate most indigenous languages to have direct relationship, but from indigenous language to there seems to be more alignment, yeah, in the sounds, comes from a deeper place than just here, yeah, just our beak. So in this last bit, I wanted to share that aloha spirit law, just kind of close us out for today. The first A is an acronym, the aloha spirit law, right? So there's an auntie named Lahipaki. She was the keeper of secrets in the kingdom of Hawaii, yeah, one of the big kahunas. And she prophesied similar to the eagle, condor, quetzal, and all this, the H.O.P.E, this prophecy that's been here. Hers is that there would come a time where the world would be at war, yeah, in chaos, and the world would look to the west and look to Hawaii for peace, and that peace would be found in aloha. So that prophecy, so then from that came this aloha spirit law, and the first A in the aloha is akahai. Akahai means kindness, to be expressed with tenderness. Akahai. The L is lokahi. Lokahi meaning unity, to be expressed with modesty. Yeah. Or, sorry, harmony. Yeah. Canoe culture, similar, looking at it from the standpoint we're all in this together. But like music, yeah, we need to find that harmonic place to be, not just in the same thing, to create noise and distraction, distortion in the field until we harmonize. The olu olu, right? It's agreeable, you know. It's like pleasant, you know. Oh, right? See how it come out, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a sound more than it is these words. Yeah, it's a sound. The H is ha, right? Humility to be expressed with modesty. So this one I learned it's like you tell me something, right? Like right, oh, aha. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's experiential, yeah. Like so, this is where I'm trying to get this all because it's fun right here. We're all participating in this, you know, culture, right? And then the last A is aho nui. Aho nui means patience, to be expressed with perseverance. I'm waiting for the moment. And I think one of the things that we shared in this is like, you know, right when we were in there, right, it's like the time is now. You know, the time is now. The Warriors of the Rainbow, there's no coincidence or all coincidence that this happened on Maui and Lahaina, which is the land of prophecy. You know, so the fire is to start there regardless of how they started. You know, that's something to discover, but rather the response, this aloha response ability, you know. And we're establishing alliances. Yeah, we're establishing teams. We're bringing us all together right now, and we need to be as strategical and tactful in terms of our unification and how we work together as those that are perpetuating war, right? We want to perpetuate a culture of peace. Yeah, that's what we're about, you know, peaceful nations, peaceful warriors. So coming back to those treaties, peace treaties, is the only thing that we can participate without perpetuating the wrongful, unlawful occupation of the Kingdom of Hawaii. It's the only thing that we can participate in without perpetuating that is peace treaty. You know, so to think about us doing that, yeah, when we come over there is through all nations, yeah, start reestablishing those treaties amongst each and every one of us right now. Mm-hmm. In the same way of getting these petitions, you know, for initiatives of protecting our waters and protecting our sacred lands and protecting our ancestral bones, our iwi kapuna, all of that, yeah, all those initiatives right there, and getting the support from what I would call those that have been part of the oppressive lineage that recognize that and are transmuting that within themselves to now show up at this time because they didn't know that wasn't part of their, you know, what they're here to do. They're here to transmute that family lineage and legacy. You know, I think Brock's doing a big part of that. You know, right? And I want to bring him on in the next, but we're going to close up because we're going to go over to a radio station and do some more of this, yeah, and drop in some PSAs, from public service announcements. So stay tuned, and thank you for tuning in to Hope for Maui today. It is Wednesday morning session, 8:08. That's the area code of Maui. So 8 o'clock a.m. And 8 o'clock p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Please do the math. That's 3 hours Pacific, 3 hours Eastern. But this is a world and an international global news broadcast by the people and for the people. So, peace, love, and bananas. Aloha.